Welcome to I Love the Library. I'm Danelle Haspel and I'm one of the reference librarians here at the Detroit Lakes Public Library. And as my goal this year, I've been going over all kinds of our databases that we have free for our customers to use. And so today I'm going to look at Minnesota Reflections with you. So this is our homepage, and the address to go to is laurel.org, and it's LARL.org. And it is printed on your library card, so you can find it there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to research. There it is. And you'll see the drop-down box, and we're going to go down to the complete list of databases, and we're going to click on it. Okay, so this is what it looks like when our databases come up, and they're in alphabetical order. And we're going to just shoot down to M for Minnesota Reflections. Okay, get close. There it is. So, Minnesota Reflections is right here, and it's a collection of images and documents from historical societies, public libraries, special archives, universities, and colleges that depict the history of Minnesota. So if you really are into the history of Minnesota, this is a perfect place for you to go. We're just going to click on, there it is, Minnesota Reflections. Okay, and this is what the page looks like, and you can browse by topic, you can browse by contributor, and you can browse by format. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in Detroit, and I'm going to put in Minnesota, and I know you're wondering about that, and I haven't lost my mind. Detroit Lakes actually was Detroit, Minnesota until 1926. So by putting in just Detroit, Minnesota, I'm kind of assured to get older photographs. So I'm just going to go search. Okay, so the very first one is Washington Avenue looking south, and I'm just going to click on it. And this was actually created in 1873 to 1877, it says. Now I know you're wondering, well, why in the world are there two exactly the same pictures next to each other? This is actually a stereoscope card. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it was very popular in the 1890s, and it was like the front runner to the Viewmaster. I know I'm dating myself here, but anyway, it actually made it look 3D when the person looked through the stereoscope. Well, you can see there aren't very many businesses along Washington Avenue there. And this is actually looking down toward the lake. And you can see the buildings are actually stick-built. They're not block buildings because the fire in Detroit Lakes hadn't happened yet. Once the fire happened, and I think it was 1914, then they rebuilt with block buildings. So we're going to go back and see how the town progressed. Let's see if I can find the next one. Here's an aerial photograph of downtown Detroit, Minnesota. This one now is from about 1909. And it's just an awesome picture, if you ask me. So we're going to go plus and make it a little bit bigger. Maybe a little bit bigger yet. Because I want you to see right here, this big, huge building, that is where the Detroit Lakes Community Center is now. That was the high school at the time, but when I attended it was Holmes Junior High. And that's what that building is right there. And if you we're going to scan across here, and there's another big building right here that is just gorgeous. That is the old courthouse. Our courthouse that we have now was built in the 1940s. Well, this is the one that was before that one, and it's really pretty. So as you can see, by just looking at these photographs, look at how big the town is compared to what it was in the first picture we looked at. It's really grown up in that span of time. So as you can see, Minnesota Reflections really sucks in history buffs because there's so much in there for you to look at. So I hope you enjoy this free database that's offered through the library. I hope to see you at the library.